Hello. I see in a world where every year new perfumes and brands launch that differentiation is more and more important. New bottle shapes, new ingredients to create exciting and exclusive notes and accords, sometimes a bit weird or let's say unfamiliar, but we accept or welcome them in this race or desire to explore new things and especially to distinguish ourselves from others, even through how we smell. Far away are those times where everybody were wearing the same scents. Although today, yes, we experience some cases of best-selling or trending perfumes, and finally you smell them everywhere in their original version or dupes or clones. So you end up smelling like everyone else. And we don't like this, especially today. So in general, the perfume industry is now forced to make an extra effort to deliver differentiation. And storytelling is one of the most relevant tools to make a brand different. Although for me, most of the stories are just fiction creations for marketing purposes. But it works. People don't care if it's true or not. It's like when you watch a movie or you read a novel. You don't mind if the story is true or it's just fiction. What you really care is how the story transforms you or how it makes you feel. And here is where the storytelling is important. We live in a very complex world today, and it's very important for us to be able to express in every way possible our mood, our personality, our emotions, how we feel. And on the other hand, to shift our emotions, to try to feel better. And so, fragrances, no doubt, make us feel in a certain way, or at least they accompany our emotions. They can make us feel, I don't know, romantic, free, adventurous, elegant, sophisticated, brave, sweet, and the storytelling behind the fragrance has a lot to do with it. I don't want to mention any particular example here, but for instance, some brands are clearly linked to traveling stories and having interesting experiences in different places of the world with strong emotional nuance. And so when we wear these fragrances, we feel emotions related with this storytelling. We feel adventurous, we feel brave, free, interesting, like we are living in one of those magical places, magical stories of vast deserts, wild oceans, dark forests, beautiful palaces, luxurious yachts, vibrant cities. Other brands choose to show up like the ultimate, sophisticated, elegant luxury choice, and all their aesthetics and marketing strategies and storytelling gravitate around it. They are a symbol of refinement, class, prestige, status. They silently announce the social class of the wearer. Can you think about a brand like this? Let me know in the comments. Others appeal specifically to younger audiences, the youth, modern lifestyle. All their aesthetics seem to be made for teenagers and modern people who like, for example, explore new technologies, the latest discoveries in science or, I don't know, social transgressions. There are some brands that come to my mind. What about you? Other brands build a brand that look after the environment, claiming to use the most natural ingredients from sustainable fields where local people harvest the raw materials without any kind of human or environmental harm. The market of customers worried about this kind of topics, about harmful or toxic ingredients, unfair work or environmental decadence, is growing consistently. So this is a very smart and increasing storytelling. So, in general, gender, age, geographical location, income level, or lifestyle preferences are some of the variables taken into consideration to create the storytelling behind the brand and make it special for us. we become, with the right marketing strategy, devoted supporters of a brand. So the brands direct their stories to a certain audience with specific preferences that identify with them and eventually turn into devoted customers. And my friends, this is a titanic challenge for a brand because it's a market, an industry that is flourishing constantly and rapidly, competing like crazy for customers' attention. So a clear marketing plan is key to stand out of the crowd. And of course the storytelling plays a relevant role. But again, it's just a tool, a fiction tool, not an actual story. And not a new one. Something that attracted a lot my attention is that Romans 2000 years ago used to create legendary stories about perfumes with the only aim to make it special and increasing the price. For example, there's a story about the cinnamons gathering in Ethiopia. It was said that to gather the precious ingredient, they had to climb inaccessible peaks protected by phoenix nests, which was very dangerous. And it's clearly mentioned that it was used just as a trick to increase the price. But I would add that it was also to engage the customers with a particular perfume or perfumer. So anyway, what is not refutable is that a perfume makes us feel certain emotions, certain feelings, and a scented trail creates an unforgettable presence, which affects our relations too. For whatever reason, it's so important what the brand inspires to us, what we experience wearing the perfume. And also there's science behind this, behind how the smells affect our emotions. It is scientifically proven that smells affect our mood and energy. The smell penetrates through our nose and passes through a nasal cavity to arrive to a receptor which transfers a signal to the olfactive bulb, which is in the brain, where the emotions are regulated. Smells are much more powerful than what we see. According with some researchers, 90% of people remember what they smelled, and only 50% remember what they've seen in the same moment. The same studies say that in short term, we remember only the 1% of what we touch, 2% of what we hear, 5% of what we see, 15% of what we taste, and 35% of what we smell. Isn't that incredible? But let's go back to the storytelling. I personally think that most of the stories behind a fragrance or a brand are not other than marketing. Nothing really artistic or meaningful, but just a creation for make us feel something special. But it's okay. A well-written brand narrative adds magic to the scent. Never mind, we can't deny that it's not all about the juice, right? It's the storytelling what makes a simple scent that just smells good to turn into a perfume with a soul that makes us feel a special emotion. It's getting darker. So, what makes a fragrance or a brand something special or memorable for you? What's your personal relationship with fragrance? What inspires you the most in a storytelling? Do you have any favorite brand? Why? Please let me know in the comments.